Hi, this is Bob from Pettis World. How you guys doing? I wanted to do this video, and if you can't see, Can-Am, Spyder, I was wanting to do a 3-mile update on the bike, my pros and cons. We've owned this bike now for about a year, and of course we got over 3,000 miles on it now. I'm just getting around to doing this video, but mainly pros. We've really enjoyed the bike. I mean, we ride it probably 90% 2-up, so Barb's usually on the back with me. So we use it for our when we get to campgrounds and to get on it and just take off and ride around. Exactly what we bought it for, is just to be able to explore and use the truck sometimes, but usually use the motorcycle. Plenty of power with 2-up. It's not a rocket, it's not a sport bike by no means, but it's got plenty of power when you got 2-up on it. So it's geared very well, and it's got plenty of get up and go. I never feel like I need more power for having 2-up on it. One of the pros was after getting used to the handling characteristics of a 3-wheel, 2-wheelers years ago, but the 3-wheel, it's just a whole different feel. You don't have the lean. I mean, you do lean into some curves, but you don't have to really lean on it as much. But it's a totally different feel if you're used to riding a 2-wheeler. It takes a while to get used to it. And I think once you rode a 2-wheel bike, you kind of don't forget, just like riding a bicycle, how you don't forget. So that's definitely that's a pro. Braking is very adequate. I mean, it doesn't stop on a dime or anything, but I've never feel like I need extra brakes. I've always rode defensively when I rode a motorcycle, so I always give myself plenty of room to react to changing conditions, whether it's cars coming on an interstate or coming up to a stoplight. I always give myself plenty of room for braking and to make maneuvers in case I have to. One of the next pros would be the windshield. Having the windshield on there that actually motorizes up and down on those cold mornings. It's nice to be able to run that windshield up. Or if it's raining real hard, for Barb on the back, I can raise that windshield up and it kind of gets the rain to go over top of it, so that's really nice. The riding position is very comfortable for me. It's very comfortable for her also. I do want to add some highway pegs to give me that stretch I'm looking for, because sometimes my legs get a little cramped pushing them up there onto the air dams that are up there by the front tire, so I'm going to get some front pegs for it. The visibility of the mirrors is incredible. I mean, you got a full view. When you look out the left or right mirror, you got a full view of what's behind you. It's awesome. The storage, love the storage. We've taken some overnight trips on it, and it is awesome. You can put some small luggage on it. We carry camera gear. We carry our 2 full-face helmets. We carry our cooler wherever we go. So we got plenty of rooms. Our jackets, our riding, our wet gear. So we got plenty of room for that. The cruise control is incredible. I'm glad I got the cruise control on there. I use it all the time on the 2-lane roads, on the 4-lane roads, the hot interstates. I'm always grabbing the cruise control, and it just works perfectly. You bump it up 1 bump, and you get a mile-per-hour increase. It just works tremendously well. The motor and transmission working very well together when you're gearing down, when you get off the throttle. If you have to make a quick break, it will automatically find the next gear that you need without you having to think about it. So you have to upshift this bike. Everybody knows it's a 6-speed semi-automatic, so you do have to upshift, and it will downshift on you automatically. Sometimes I will downshift, so I'm coming up to a curb just to give me a little bit of load on the front end. But most of the time I let the transmission do its thing. But on some panic stops, it always knows what gear you need to go into, so that's awesome about it. The dashboard, able to be able to see it at night. That's what was one of my big worries, was that the dashboard, I was looking for the analog dashboard, and then when I was looking for the 2019, I was kind of worried about the dashboard. I knew in 2018 it came out with the digital dash, but it is visible. I only have the contrast turned up about, the brightness, I guess it would be. The brightness is only turned up about halfway, and I have no problem seeing it. At night it's super bright. During the day it's very adequate. We don't never have no problems with seeing it. The heated grips, those are awesome. I mean, it's we've used them in cooler weather. Barb uses hers more than I use mine. Usually because I'm more protected. She's on the back and her hands are out where they're exposed more, or I'm behind the windshield, and I get I get heat off the motor and stuff, so I usually don't need heated grips at all. Plus, if you put the heated grips on high on the front, they'll actually heat your hands up to where it's not even comfortable. I've never been in any super cold weather. I mean, we've been down to maybe 30, 35 degrees, but very nice to have the heated grips. The other thing I really love about it, coming from riding on a two-wheeler, the visibility of the bike for other drivers. It's a very visible bike. I mean, it's just a massive unit with, when you see the two front tires coming at you, so it's got a lot of presence on the road. So I don't ever have any problems with worrying about if somebody's going to pull out in front of me, but you always try to make eye contact with somebody that's, you know, if you're coming up on an intersection, make eye contact to see if they see you, for sure, driving defensively. So that's pretty much all my pros of the bike. Like I said, we've got a little over 3,000 miles on it. The bike is just incredible. It's comfortable to ride. It's got plenty power. It's really comfortable with two on it, and I wouldn't have any other bike right now. And we've gotten a lot of people that like it, and of course we give the motorcycle wave to everybody we see, and some of the Harley riders nose down at you, some don't. But you're seeing a lot more and more Can-Ams out there, so you're seeing a lot of Can-Am riders riding with two-wheelers, so they're out there. I mean, people that have mobility issues or just feel like they don't want to have to hold the bike up anymore, it's very nice. And that's what Barb's big concern was, that we were riding the bike and not being able to hold it up at intersections or around curves and stuff. It's really nice that way. It's you know, like almost riding a car at that point. But you get the road noise, you get the feel, the wind in your face, you get everything you get on a motorcycle. You just don't have to deal with the two-wheeler issues. Some of the cons on the bike, and I've got some, probably got a few more, but the BRP app, that thing just sucks. It sucks from the very beginning. We just never had any luck with it at all. It's just BRP, for a large company, they really need to get together and get some software out to us riders that actually works. The mapping software, it just stinks. It forces you to try to buy a map that just aren't very good. I put a phone mount on. I use my phone that way, and I do have a Garmin GPS. I can, you know, suction cup to the windshield if I want to use it. But that app is horrible. And then the whole thing with the safety car hadn't hit the mode button. That gets a little annoying. But now I already got the mode button pushed in. I just started it, so it doesn't even bother me anymore. On the transmission, sometimes it feels like you could use another gear on the interstate. I mean, you got your first gear runs out pretty good, then your next 5 gears are all pretty tight together. And when you're cruising, and I usually cruise slower than the speed limit, but when you get up to 70, 75 miles an hour, sometimes you feel like you could plop it into another gear and the engine would like you for it. Also, the fuel mileage really drops off when you get into the 70 mile an hour range. When you've got two up, it really sucks the fuel down. If you're driving at 55, it's very economical, but when you get over 70 mile an hour, it drinks the fuel pretty good. So it feels like it has plenty of torque, plenty of power. It just feels like it could have that 7th gear. Lighting, I mean, BRP, I can't believe you have not put extra lights on this. They added turn signal lights on the front fender, and on the lower, they put a sticker down on the lower front fender. I mean, a sticker, for good Lord. I mean, you're spending $20,000 on something. And then in the back luggage, I put a turn signal brake light back there, and then I put a LED light on the bags that was another, just like a reflector. So I mean, I don't want to add all the glow lights and all that stuff underneath the bike. I'm not into all that, but I wanted it to have the visibility so people could see us driving down the road, especially at night. It's very hard to see at night. With the lights I added, it's incredible, even during the day. Lack of USBs on the dash. I mean, they got a USB in the back, a USB in the trunk, but they're horrible. They don't charge very well. So that's something I'm going to add. I have not added yet, but I want to add a USB that's got the power, the DC power, to be able to actually charge a phone quickly. The USB that's in the front, that's actually made to mate with the BRP app, it's horrible. It doesn't hardly charge. You might keep up with, if you're at 50%, it'll be a 50% after an hour. It doesn't charge at all. So that's horrible. That should not be there. On a modern bike, you should have some USBs for sure. Transmission seems to be clunky. When you put it in reverse or put it in first gear, it seems to clunk a lot more than I would think it would. Once you start driving it and you shift, it's got a little clunk, very little. But I'm going to see after my first service if I put some, get the braking oil out there, see if that kind of goes away a little bit. But it seems like it could be a lot smoother transmission. And I thought it was just mine, but I've been around other Can-Ams, and I hear videos, you hear that clunk, 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 and I guess that's just the nature of the beast. But it just seems like it could be a little less invasive on the bike. Since I've been trying to get the service work done, I was going to try to get it done at a dealership, but you'll see that I end up having to do it myself, the service work. There's dealers out there, but the dealers, they seem like they want to sell, but they don't want to repair. And so in Texas, we were down there a couple different places. I'd call them. No one would call me back. 2 dealerships wouldn't even call me back. I'd leave messages, they wouldn't call me back. In Indiana, when we got back to Indiana, I had 2 dealerships. I had one dealership call me back, and he said, Bob, I just can't get to you right now. It's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. So it's because of, I guess, I don't know, I'm not going to blame it on COVID, but I think it's probably just the time of year. I was trying to call in early spring, and they just got a lot of bikes. They either sell a lot of bikes or they're servicing a lot of bikes. There's just not enough dealers out there that are willing to do work for the Can-Am line of bikes. And the more and more of these bikes are being sold, the more and more you're going to need dealer support. So that would be one of the cons. We love this bike. We love it. It's comfortable, runs great. It's just been an awesome leg of transportation for us. With having the truck and the camper and the bike, it's just been great. Being able to hop on the bike, take it for rides in parks, take it on rides along lakes and back roads. It's just been super.
So Bob just told you his thoughts on the Can-Am Spyder, and I'm going to share mine. When Bob first said he wanted to get a motorcycle, a Can-Am or something, I was kind of nervous because he had ridden stuff before and I had not ridden stuff. So it was a new experience for me, and I was kind of afraid. I was nervous. So one of the things Bob did to add comfort for me is he put those armrests on, or we had the dealer put them on. And that's because my biggest fear in the beginning is because when I'm out in the beauty of the wilderness, I tend to fall asleep because it relaxes you so much and opens your mind that I thought I would go whoosh, right off the bike. So the armrest, even though they don't do a lot, they're not super all the way comfortable, it's that false sense of security that I needed at the beginning to get me going and on the road, and I love them now. I also have grips that I can hold at the side, so I feel very safe, and I've gotten more and more comfortable with it as time has gone on because Bob is an excellent driver. He's not someone who's going to scare me or go too crazy, or switch it around, but he still makes it fun also that we're having a good time while we're on it. The other part of the security that he added for me was that he added on the extra lighting. And that was real important for me because I'm in the back and I'm a little bit above him. And I always felt nervous because people are on their phones. They're not looking that somebody was going to hit us. And I mean, things could still happen that way. But the fact that there's extra lighting, blinking and turning and rolling, and you're going to see us. If you're not going to see us, you're really in the dead zone. But it makes me feel a lot safer being on the bike. My greatest thing that I love about being on the Can-Am is this, riding with my arms out. And I know Bob doesn't know this because I'm behind him, but I'm riding, the air is in my face. It is so fresh and clean and beautiful. And I feel like an eagle soaring through the land. And it is probably one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had. And then for me, also, it's an end to a means. We're camping in our large camper where we need to camp, and this Can-Am gets me to any place that I want to go, no matter how remote. It is an amazing vehicle, and I'm very grateful that we have it, and I would definitely do it again. So we hope that you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Get notified, because not only we are doing Can-Am videos, we are doing full-time RV living videos, we're doing RV repair, and you name it, it's going to pop up on this channel somewhere. Smash that notification bell so you know when our videos are coming out. Comment below, and remember, we're ahead of this world. Come travel in our world. Bye.